This week on Hooligan Nation, we try our best for a family-friendly educational episode. Huh? I don't know, Father Rocco. This one might be tough. I don't know. Yep, that's right. We went educational with my daughter. And if you're a parent, this is a must-see episode. Because you got
nothing to lose.
But you got
nothing to lose. Got nothing.
You wanted the best. Well, they retired. So you got two dudes in a garage.
Talking KISS. Welcome back to Hooligan Nation, a KISS-Centric podcast. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Rocco.
Are you sure?
Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, I just checked.
All right, I'm just making sure that you're sure.
Yep.
Are you ready for today's episode?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Me too. Me too. Hooligans, we have lots of surprises. Lots and lots of surprises today. We're going to go off the beaten path one more time. And hopefully, if she shows up, we are going to discuss parental influence in music. And in the case of our guest tonight, it centers around everyone's favorite band, KISS. But before we get to that, let's recap the last episode. Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction album review. My Little Rocky, you got anything you want to say?
If I'm Guns N' Roses, I do the mic drop all the time. If I'm Guns N' Roses, that's a band mic drop because that album was killer.
You ever think to yourself, if you're Guns N' Roses, do you even give any thought of not making a second album? Like, hey, let's just walk away. We've conquered the entire world in one album. I don't know that, and maybe I'm wrong, and please don't bring up the goddamn Beatles, but I don't remember another band, artist, act that conquered the world album number one. Am I missing someone?
Not to level Guns N' Roses.
If I remember it correctly, and who knows if I do, but if I remember it correctly, by 1989, they were the top of the top. That's all anyone wanted to talk about was Guns N' Roses.
Well, I think what helps them too, and I think you'll back me on this, like they had an undeniable sound that was different than anything before or since.
Correct. Yeah, nobody's...
At least on that album.
Yeah. The whole... And it's more than just the sound to me. It was the sound, it was the attitude, and it was also the visuals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you wanted, this is going to sound really weird and maybe not really even comparable, but all of a sudden KISS shows up on the scene with a bunch of guys wearing full makeup and characters. Nothing was done like that to that level. And now Guns N' Roses had like a similar type of an impact. Yes. A totally different type of way, but a similar type of impact.
Guns N' Roses and KISS were very similar in that no one had heard or seen anything like them before. Guns N' Roses was a gang. I mean, that's how they were looked at.
This is going to sound crazy, and hooligans, if I sound completely off my rocker, you can definitely call me on it. But to me, connect the dots. Nobody's seen anything like the Beatles. Nobody's seen anything like KISS. And then Guns N' Roses. There's comparables there. As far as like impact of something not seen before that was powerful through and through, there's definitely comparables as far as the impact on the music business that stood out from the rest.
News.
Joe Jonas is going to be in a movie playing Paul Stanley in Shout It Out Loud. It was originally slated to be on Netflix exclusively, but I guess that's not really going to be going on now, but there's more details to follow with this. But it sounds pretty interesting. And from what I gather, he's already, I guess, in training to be able to pull off Paul Stanley. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I heard that he's in voice training because he's going to supposedly sing all the Paul Stanley parts, which, call me a freak show. That's kind of interesting to me.
You're a freak show.
Thank you. That's kind of interesting to me. I don't like cover versions, very rarely, but I would like to hear Joe Jonas. I don't even know which one Joe Jonas is. I think there's 3 Jonas Brothers. I mean, I would have to probably grab my youngest daughter to tell me anything about the Jonas Brothers, and I'm not going to, because I have a feeling that our retention rate, as soon as we really dig into the Jonas Brothers, would go down the drain. And by the way, hooligans, that would be okay. If we get on here and we start talking about the Jonas Brothers for more than like 3 minutes, by all means, get out. Go find something better to watch or listen to. I can't blame you there.
That being said, it's pretty damn cool that there's going to be a movie coming out about Kiss. Shout it out loud.
It is pretty cool. The only thing that scares me about the movie, and I'm not hating on Gene or Paul, but is this factual according to Gene and Paul, or is this going to be factual according to Gene, Paul, Ace, and Peter? That's a very important distinction that we should all hold our breath for. All right, hooligans, we're going to go out of order today because we're waiting for our guest. This is what happens when you pay people with jelly beans and Skittles. They show up when they want, I guess. It's also when it's my daughter that's coming on as a guest. She don't give a shit what I have to say, and I know it, so she'll show up.
Worth it. She's got a great personality, so it'll be entertaining.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to bleep out every other word, probably.
There'll be some editing.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be a lot of editing. I've been preparing for the editing. So she's supposed to come on. She should be on within the next 5 or 10 minutes. She wanted to do the music that we're listening to segment. So we're going to do the poll first, and then we'll move on to music that we're listening to. So our poll, as always, my favorite part of this podcast, in case anyone doesn't know by now, we put the poll up either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday every week. It can be found on our community tab on YouTube. It can also be found in our Facebook group, Hooligan Nation, the KISS-Centric podcast. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, slide over there and join. We're having lots of fun over there. So much fun. Rocco dances on a pole. He changes his name to Johnny. He's just a crazy wild man over there on the Facebook group. But anyhow, moving right along. The poll for this week. Which KISS album is the most impactful to you? Not your favorite, not the best, not the best-selling, the most impactful to you. Father Rocco, what say you? Oh, thank you.
Animalize.
Wow. Okay.
Ask me why.
And why?
Actually, you know what? Double platinum / Animalize, because double platinum was connected to that, because Animalize brought me to the dance with Kiss in a way with the current stuff, but double platinum is where I fell in love with them with Come On and Love Me. So I connect both those albums as far as albums that impact me. But Animalize has to be a part of it because it was also our first concert with Kiss.
For me, I think it's most impactful. I think it's got to be Love Gun.
I knew that.
For me, just because that's where I really found my love for Peter and my love for Ace. was Love Gun with Hooligan and Shock Me. Anyway, nobody cares what either of us think. They want to know what everybody else
but hopefully
thinks.
it makes the Hooligans think about what their lane is and how they feel and what their impact was. Which gets back to your poll.
They have spoken.
All right, let's hear it.
So we did this poll. I'm trying to do polls a little differently just to see what works and what doesn't work. So if you vote in our poll every week and you wonder why I keep changing it up, I'm changing it up to see what'll work and what won't work. So we started out, we were all multiple choice. It was real simple. You just click. You don't have to do anything. And for this one, I put 3 albums: Alive, Destroyer, and Creatures. And then for your 4th choice, I put in Other, and you could write in your choice. So the others coming in at 1%, there was a vote for Alive 2, Love Gun, Unmasked, and Animalized. And here's the cool thing about the write-in vote, at least in my opinion, is not all, but some of our hooligans gave pretty good descriptions. So the first one, I'm sorry, I missed one. And Lick It Up. Ghost 64 Jack said, Lick It Up is most impactful for me. I really don't like the 70s Kiss. Then when Lick It Up came out, I really liked how heavy sounding it was. And then it made me go listen to the older stuff, and I found a respect for others. But I still like the 80s music better than the 70s. Mr. Curtis 73 voted for Alive 2. Brad Baird 6526 voted the right way. He voted for Love Gun and said it was his first album. And Dan the Man voted for Unmasked, not shocking. And he stated that because that was the era KISS was at their peak by Australian standards. Not saying it was the best, but that's when KISS hit down under like a hurricane. And as most of us should know, it definitely did hit down under like a hurricane. Coming in next with 9% of the vote, Creatures of the Night. And then Destroyer and Alive One were actually tied with 45% each. So that's with I think it's about 50 votes all total. So 45% and 45%. I wish we had a tiebreaker, but you don't. And I'm not shocked that Alive and Destroyer were tied for the top.
If you had to name like the top 3 impact must-have albums for KISS to be successful for 50 years. Alive, Destroyer, Unplugged.
Oh, I'm the one creating crickets this time. Oh, wow. No, I don't.
I'm not saying it's my order, but I'm saying Alive, it's undeniable how important Alive was to this band, correct?
All right, new music.
New music. This is something I've been dabbling in for a couple of weeks now.
Edibles?
One of my favorite. You know how like music gives you memories?
It does.
There's certain albums that you listen to, you can actually put yourself right back. That sounds like an elephant.
No.
So this album is an album that I listened to like crazy. It was my mullet hair days, my metal days. I had my heavy metals. My Walkman listening to this album like crazy. That's the memories I have. Ride the Lightning from Metallica.
Ooh.
Yeah. You remember how much I was like a maniac with Metallica, and Ride the Lightning is still today is like one of my favorite albums of all time. It was Metallica, very raw, not polished, and it was really, really good.
You know what? You've done it to me. tomorrow morning I wake up to edit and I'm putting Ride the Lightning on.
There you go.
And,
Dun, dun, dun,
and after that,
dun,
I'll
dun.
probably put Kill 'Em All on. And then I'll probably move on to Master of Puppets. And I'll probably get no editing done all day long because of it.
I like the order that you're going now.
So it's going to be your fault when I don't get my editing done.
Is that sad but true?
Ah, oh, very good. Very good. Very good. Yeah, my new music, I guess I went back. It's not new, just like you. I've been listening the last couple days to Brat.
Wow.
Don't ask me
Martini,
why.
Baby.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's the reason why, because Piercy and Martini are in the news constantly. But I've been listening to Out of the Cellar. Been watching the videos, of course, because that's kind of what I do.
Burl.
Yep. And that's pretty much all I got.
I tell you what, that you mentioned in Rat, they were some great videos. Like that, you think of the '80s, you can't think of the '80s without thinking of Round and Round and videos for those Back for More and
all of the bands. I mean, all of them, quote unquote, hair metal bands had great videos.
Oh, what about Whitesnake? Still of the Night.
Oh my God! Don't get me started with Tawny Contain.
Oh baby,
sliding on the hood of a car.
It's a shame what happened to her, but in her heyday, she was something else.
I need a moment. Okay, I'm good now.
Okie dokie.
All right, folks. So if there's a Princess Leia of the Hooligan Nation podcast, I will dub my oldest daughter Princess Leia of the Hooligan Nation podcast.
That's powerful because he loves Star Wars too, and he loves you. That's a twofer.
And you should be happy that I didn't dub you Chewbacca.
And yes, your uncle looks like a freaking. Yeah.
And that's what I would dub. That's what I would dub him, Chewbacca. You know, we got to go with that. We were going with Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon. No, I'm Han Solo and you're Chewbacca. And now we have Princess Leia. We got.
If you haven't realized it yet, I've gotten called everything and everything under the sun on this podcast. So.
I think it's way better. It's phenomenal. You should feel honored. Honored.
Oh, sure. To be
called Chewbacca. Come on, essential character.
When you come on a podcast and you make up your name and it's not your born name.
It doesn't matter. I make my name. You're going to go there? You're really going to go there?
Am I going to go there? What?
I have people in my life that don't even have a clue what my first name is. Everybody knows me as Rocco.
Not everybody.
Most people do.
Well, but not everybody. So you want to come with your fake names? I'm going to create more fake names. Chewy.
As long as you got used to it's Neil Peart, not Peart.
It is Neil Peart. Peart. In case you didn't know that.
Tomato. Let's get back to Kylie.
Anyway, my introduction for the first time on the show is my oldest daughter, Kylie. She is 26 years old, soon to be 27 years old. Jesus, you're getting old.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Would you like to tell the Hooligan Nation audience a little more about you? And before you go into that, be mindful that whatever you say that I have to edit out, it takes a lot longer to edit. Okay?
That's his way of trying to probably censor you because I know what's possible.
Yeah, we're trying to avoid F-bombs and we're trying to avoid like your unfiltered personality. Not completely.
We don't want to have to put like a PG-13 rating.
Yeah. Yep.
I completely understand. I can keep it at a minimum.
All right.
Keep it at a minimum. Yeah, so I'm getting old. It's been really tough, let me tell you. Other than that, let's see. I work at a dispensary, which is the most phenomenal job personally I've ever had. I am a huge marijuana enthusiast personally. Along with, I have to say, I love the aspect that music is an every single day part of life. And it's a huge part of my life every single day. Along with, I feel like it keeps you going. But
Right.
other than that, recently engaged.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I feel like that's pretty much all that would sum up me currently right now.
All right, cool. You had music you wanted to share with our audience that you've been listening to. So tell
Yes.
us what it is.
So Yellow Card, the band, they have come out with a new song. Let me check the name of it again. I think it's called Better Days. Yes, it is. It's called Better Days, and it was just released. And the rest of their album will release in October. But they also sing the original song Ocean Avenue, which a lot of people also know.
What genre?
It's kind of more so, it's like a mix. It has an aspect of rock in there, but also more so a little bit more towards punk, I would put. Or more their original stuff, their original stuff. Whereas this is a lot lighter, a lot smoother, a lot like calmer. Not as hard as their original stuff whatsoever, but it was also a really shocking, really good song. I didn't expect them to come out with such a good song so many years later.
Our main topic today is going to be parental influence in music. Now, before you all click away and go, oh my God, we don't want to hear this educational shit, I agree with you, but my daughter was raised on KISS. And the idea of this episode comes from, shockingly enough, KJ Nodwell, who sent me an email or made a comment, one of those two. I don't know. I have a traumatic brain injury. I can't remember. But she has two daughters, and she says both her daughters hate KISS and love country music. Now, normally, if that wasn't coming from KJ Nodwell, I would say that that's bad parenting. But because it comes from her, it absolutely cannot be bad parenting. One thing I do know for sure is that I parented well. And
me too. My daughter Emily loves KISS too.
Right. My daughter, well, mine's 26. It's different.
Mine's 13, but I did sing Beth a cappella on stage with her.
Right. But she could end up being a Drake fan. Kylie, did you prepare for this? Are you ready? Is everybody all stretched out? Everybody strapped on their seatbelt? We're all ready to go? Good, let's get into this. Can you tell us how you were first introduced to KISS?
So
Can you remember your first memory?
Yeah, it was definitely us driving in the car. I think it was the entire family. Nana was there at that time too, and who's my sister. And I think it was Rock and Roll All Night, transparently, that I remember as the first song. And then I can also remember a lot of trips back from McDonald's, honestly, listening to KISS. Yes, a lot of trips back to McDonald's. Yeah.
All right. So KISS was the official McDonald's music.
Definitely. Definitely.
So Kylie, if you were to name the one person that introduced you to the band, who would it be?
It would definitely have been my dad. Definitely would have been my dad, for sure. Yeah. Through and through.
You're welcome.
Consistently. Yeah.
You're welcome, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay. Someday you will thank me for giving you proper taste in music. What role did music play in your household growing up?
I feel like it mostly had the biggest role in when we were all in the car together. I feel like there's that feeling of honestly late at night driving down the highway with the windows open and all of our music blasting and everyone singing along to the same song. And I feel like you just feel so whole and so happy as a family in that moment. Or, you know, when you're all like in the kitchen jamming out and whatnot. So whatever you along with mommy would put on. And I feel like it just brings everybody closer in a completely different way too than when you guys all watch the same TV show together or something. I feel like music is so much more emotional than TV could ever be.
Kylie, what other bands, performers, you know, what kind of other bands and stuff had an impact that you had growing up?
From my dad and mom, funny enough, specifically also Bon Jovi for sure. Huge fans. I remember we would listen to them or him all the time. And then when it also came to rock band, we were able to also play Journey songs as well, which they're phenomenal.
Oh, you talking about the Rock Band game?
Oh, rock band, yeah. Yeah.
You know, you should probably tell the audience that we are legends because we did complete and win Rock Band.
We did.
We did as a three-piece band.
Nice.
Yes. I played guitar. Juliana was maybe
Drums.
7 or 8, played the drums, and Kylie sang. And
Yep.
Very cool.
we completed the game. And also, you know, I gotta say this. The game opened me up to different kinds of music, and it did the same for them. I mean, I went out and bought all the KISS songs that were available on Rock Band, and we played them a lot. But we got to play other songs. I can't remember right now the Rolling Stones song that I fell
I
in
know what
love.
you're talking about. I can't think of that.
I fell in love with that song, and I fell in love with it from Rock Band.
Is it da na 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 na? Da, 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 da. I can't think of the name of the song. I know the song because I know the one that's on there. It's really popular for rock.
It starts with a guitar riff that I love, and there's
Painted
Oh, is
Black.
it-
Painted Black.
no, it's
Gimme
definitely
Shelter.
what?
Gimme Shelter.
Gimme Shelter.
Yeah.
I love that song still to this
Phenomenal.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also Paramore. I found
Yeah.
Paramore there. And there's a bunch of other ones that I can't remember right now, but Rock Band was a very influential game when it came out. It's a shame that they don't come out with any more of them.
Yeah, because again, I would still play to this day, 100%.
By the way, it's
Then-
weird seeing you wear. I never seen it 2 times, but you're wearing a blue shirt. I'm not used to that.
Who?
You.
Dude, I'm wearing this shirt for you.
Y'all need
You
Jesus.
need Jesus.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Um,
I'm
Gonna
not
have
making
a-
fun. I love Jesus.
gonna have a lot of church music in this episode.
So Kylie, how big of a deal was KISS in your family?
A huge deal from day one. Absolutely a huge deal. I feel like
Actually, I hate to cut you off because that's his job to cut everybody off, but it was actually a huge deal from day one. And it was a huge deal from day one because my little Kylie was born November 22nd, 1998. Got it right. November 22nd, 1998 at 1:46 a.m. And on November 22nd at about 7 p.m., little Rocky here and I walked into a KISS concert in Brendan Byrne Arena. Now, before any women that are watching this,
New Jersey, Brandon Murray, New Jersey.
in New Jersey, yes, before any of the women that are watching this kill me for this, I want you to know that I got a hall pass to go to the concert. But the funny part is, and I don't even know, Kylie, if you've ever heard this before or not, but I went to the concert. As soon as the concert was over, I dropped our little Rocky off, and I drove my ass to the hospital as fast as I possibly could. And I think I got to the hospital just before 2 a.m. And your mother was asleep, and you were in the room, and you were asleep. The nurses would have burned me alive if they could have. They were as nasty as could be to me, like for the rest of the time. Like they were the angry ones. At one point on November 23rd, like your mother caught on to this and went to the nurses and was like, hey, I told him he could go. And the response was, we don't care. He shouldn't have went. Oh yeah, they were. Oh yeah, they were not happy with me. I tried to explain to one of the nurses at like 2 a.m. like, you don't understand. It's KISS. They just reunited a couple years ago, and it was the Psycho Circus tour, and they just put a new album out, the 4 original members, and I had to go, and I spent a lot of money, and you don't understand. The other ticket was for her, but she couldn't go. You came out when you wanted to come out. It's not my fault. No, none of it worked.
It is a cool connection with KISS, though. I think it's a very cool connection.
Do you have any specific KISS-related memories that you can remember?
I can definitely remember when we were setting up when we were very young, and we were setting up the big room and stuff, moving couches and TVs and whatnot around. I can remember you blasting KISS the entire time, same as you were moving all of your things around. And you have hundreds of little memorabilia, tiny little things. And I can remember looking at how much stuff you had, along with, we were all just kind of cleaning and having a great time listening to, I'm not even sure exactly which album, but all of every song just playing back to back to back to back. And I think that's also probably one of my favorite memories, because again, we were all just running around having a great time. And it was like the background music to life in a way.
All right, Kylie. So, question for you: how did sharing that music help along with the bond of your relationship with your father?
I think by him sharing his favorite music with me, it kind of built more of like a special bond in more of an emotional way. Like, you can have memories about sports and things like that, but I feel like it's a completely different feeling winning a soccer game and someone telling you they're proud of you is a completely different feeling than, again, when you're driving down the highway and you're just hanging out, and it's just, that music is so loud that it feels like the absolute background music to your entire life.
If I can just add on to what you just said there, thinking about like my relationship with Emily, like it's, the stereotype is that the kids never like their parents' music. That's usually the stereotype. But at least in like our family, through cousins and stuff like that, like my daughter likes, like, it's not like she likes KISS because I kind of forced it on her. She likes a lot of their songs, and it was just sort of just happened. And a lot of times, like I said, the stereotype is that kids usually don't like their parents' music usually, or the parents don't like the kids' music, or whatever, or vice versa.
I think it goes both ways for me. I hated my parents' music. I still do. My parents listened to country music, and I still can't stand country music. Do you think KISS shaped your identity or how you understand music as a kid?
Yeah, I honestly think that it opened my mind listening to the music that you and mom played, because you know what I mean? It's completely different than 92.3, and how that just kind of boxes you into one area or one genre of music all the time.
Yep.
So I feel like it kind of helped me to have more of a wider range of music that I was open to listening to and that I like. That was just, a lot bigger than, Katy Perry or John Mayer. I feel like I was able to dive deeper into music because you guys had played so much old stuff. And I personally just liked it.
Old stuff.
Okay, you have to understand, it's old stuff to me.
Do you listen to KISS today?
Every now and then. Again, not on a daily basis. But also, in general, still to this day, my music changes every single day.
Yeah.
Saying the other day I drove to
That's
work
cool, though.
listening to NWA, and I drove home from work listening to the 1975. Two completely different moods.
Growing up, he identified with Peter Criss. I identified with Gene Simmons and still do. In this world of identifying, what did you have a KISS member that you identified with?
Oh,
I
boy.
liked Peter Criss. I liked him because he was the cat.
And she's the youngest old cat lady out there, so she's
I
got
am.
like 12 cats.
I have 3 inside cats, and then I feed 5 outside. Yeah, from the start, I have to say I just absolutely loved him, his outfit, the makeup, everything.
I have to agree with that. Here, I got a good one. Did you ever go through a phase where you rejected my music, including KISS?
I wouldn't say rejected, but I would say I went through a period of time where I definitely didn't listen to it. Along with, if someone had asked me about it, I probably would have been like, absolutely not, I don't listen to that. I feel like I would have kind of pushed it away or acted like I didn't like listening to it. But again, I think that has to do with a lot of, this was probably around like 13, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, I was going to say high school years.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Cool,
it's
right?
during that huge pivotal time of changing. So I feel like you're listening to everything that's more so mainstream in that time. That's super relevant and being played. Like the new Beyonce song is everyone's new thing, so it's your new thing. But again, I feel like the moment I kind of left high school, it was funny because my music taste completely shifted all over again. And I started to kind of listen to, the songs that we used to listen to when we were younger, along with newer songs that I had found. But I feel like you kind of have to go through that period of time where you're not only finding yourself, but you're finding your own music taste.
I feel like that's when you get out of high school, 90% of your peer pressure goes away. So you can like more of what you want to like, and you don't have to worry about the ridicule, which now they call it bullying, but back when we went to high school, they called it going to high school.
Well, I know one thing I could chime in with. I always loved Bon Jovi. My sister was into him, and I was a closet Bon Jovi fan, but I would never admit it in high school because I don't want to be a poser.
Well, number one, I think most people our age were a closet Bon Jovi fan. All right.
Yeah. So, Kylie, why do you think? I mean, I know KISS has been around a long time, but why do you think that KISS has a generational thing where it seems like it gets passed down a lot from generation to generation? Why do you think KISS has that kind of connection?
I think kind of like a lot of other songs, I think that their party lyrics, and truthfully, I think the incredible guitar adds so much to it, same as it's kind of something that it's hard to really picture them disappearing from relevancy entirely. Like, again, Rock and Roll All Night, that's something that's played at parties all the time. It's kind of become an anthem in a way. So it's kind of one of those things where I don't think it'll really ever die. It's kind of like, you know, joining a sorority or a frat house where you do the same exact thing.
So you're saying
Every
like it is an anthem, but you're saying like almost kind of like an anthem through all generations.
Yeah, in a way. Don't get me wrong, everyone may not be a KISS fan, but everybody at least knows
Everybody
one
knows that song.
song.
Right.
So they
Wasn't
may
it-
not be a fan, but they
We
know a
tend
song.
we tend to discuss that often on this podcast, that you don't have to be a KISS fan to know Rock and Roll All Night. It's probably the most overplayed song by any band in the history of
Yeah.
music.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Exactly. The biggest thing to me too that blows my mind is it's not annoying yet. You know, I have yet to find it annoying. Same as it's a good song.
And you know what I find interesting about this entire episode so far? You notice she's talking about the music. She's not talking about the visuals.
That's a good point.
You know how we talk almost on a constant basis about people listen to KISS with their eyes.
Mm.
I can't even take any credit for good parenting. I don't know what it is, but it's just kind of crazy to me that we're throwing these softball questions at her to where she can go back to, you know, the fire breathing, the blood spitting, all of that, and she keeps going back to the music, and I find that incredibly interesting.
You know, it's a really, really good take because it connects to the generational conversation, because the generation and her youth and age difference with us, it wasn't a visual thing, because the first thing she got introduced to was the sound of the music.
Right.
What do you think, Kylie?
Because when I think about them, I have to say, I don't really think of the explosions or anything like that. Like, as I just, you know, when you bring that up, I kind of sit here and realize I don't think of any of the crazy explosions. Of course, I picture all of their outfits and makeup, but I don't picture any of the insane.
You're thinking about the music and the song first, which is not always the case with KISS. So that was really interesting that you bringing that into that.
Do you think music is one of the most powerful ways parents can connect with their kids?
I would definitely say it's one of the most powerful ways. Again, when I can think back, a lot of the time, I think back to memories where we are listening to music or there is music. When I think about vacation, a lot of the time, and I remember the boardwalk, I can always remember the boardwalk song. I feel like a lot of the time, music can take you back to such a happy place. And I feel like when you're able to share these songs that you really cared about for your entire life or that you're really loving with your kids, I feel like, again, you build such a special bond that's completely different than anything else. Same as it's also something that's kind of just between you two, or more so like your family, and kind of like a little secret, like an inside thing. And that makes it, you know, super special.
So Kylie, what is your all-time favorite KISS memory?
Definitely the concert. 100%, definitely the concert. I think that, again, even seeing them so much later, I was still blown away at how absolutely phenomenal
That was End of the Road?
Mm-hmm.
Along with, you know, my whole life I had seen pictures and videos, and a lot of the time too, you know, you see all these explosions, but like I said, it's not really like I thought of them too much because I didn't live it or experience it in the same way that you did.
Right.
Whereas actually being able to be there was insane. It's kind of one of those things where all of a sudden you're like, oh, I get the hype. I understand a little bit more now.
Nice.
No, yeah, it really was. It was beautiful. Same as, again, it was so nice to be able to experience that memory with you know what I mean, the people who showed me who they were in the first place and taught me all about them. So it really was, that would probably be my top memory. Let's be real.
What's your favorite Kiss album?
I wasn't really able to pick an album transparently because when you honestly go through it, all of I feel like my top songs that I love by them are completely and utterly split up between what is it? Is it Destroyer and then something Killer or whatever. Oh man.
Kiss Killers.
Yeah, like if I had to go through, I would definitely say I more so have top couple of albums. But yeah, I would say Destroyer, Dress to Kill, Love Gun. That was phenomenal. A super top song for me, also by them.
That's Daddy's Girl. That's his favorite album.
super top song.
Good job.
And I like Dynasty.
You're gonna get an extra.
He's feeling all warm and fuzzy right now.
You're gonna get an extra birthday present this year.
Thank you. I also love Dynasty because I Was Made for Love. Is also
favorite.
a phenomenal song.
It's my favorite. All right, Kylie. What is the Kiss concert or tour that you didn't see that you would have liked to have seen? That you wish you saw?
Honestly, probably the reunion tour. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it because I wasn't alive yet. But I feel like that would have been amazing just because what a comeback. You know what I mean? And I'm sure, you know, when they were gone for so long, and when any of one of your favorite artists kind of drops off the map for a little bit, it really does feel like the absolute end of the world because it's something that, you know, keeps you going, keeps you happy. So I feel like
familiarity. Yep.
Having them come back again must have been the most exciting thing to see in person.
What's your favorite Kiss song?
I Was Made for Love. Yeah, for sure.
Well, you got
One of the
brownie
most.
points.
It's the top song on Spotify for Kiss.
You got brownie points with him, so good for you.
Love it. Love it.
It's on my favorite album.
What do you think of your uncle and I in our 50s doing a Kiss podcast like we are?
I think it's absolutely wild, but also very fitting in the exact same way, transparently. But I love it. I have to say, I think it's crazy. I think it's definitely something that came absolutely out of nowhere, but it's also very in character at the same time, along with it's been exciting to watch along.
And we'd both like to thank you for your commitment and support of us and all the great comments that you make on a constant basis on the episodes. We appreciate that.
You know you can always count on me.
I know I can always count on you. Well, on behalf of your uncle, Father Rocco, and I, we would like to thank you for coming on. This is our KISS-Centric educational episode for the entire 2025. But we kind of thought it was important, number one, to get a perspective from somebody that was in a different generation. And we wanted to make sure that we got that perspective from somebody that was parented correctly. All right, Kai, thank you. And
Thank you.
Go get some sleep and make sure you're not late for work tomorrow, because my influence, it will not be my influence if you're late for work tomorrow.
I won't be late. Don't worry. I love you both. Have fun.
I love you too.
And excited to watch this later.
So to wrap this puppy up, I thought that was kind of interesting and new and something we had never done before. I hope all the hooligans out there appreciate the change up we threw for this week. I just thought it was, after KJ sent her comment or her email, it got me thinking kind of how lucky I am. I mean, my other two daughters, I don't know if I would call them quote unquote Kiss fans, but I can tell you they have their favorite Kiss songs and they have their favorite Kiss memories. Kylie's probably the one that's the most Kiss fan of all of them. But I don't have any Kiss hating kids. And thank God I don't have any country music loving daughters, which I appreciate.
After doing this episode, I feel like it's extremely appropriate. And this is to the Hooligans. It's not an exception. You do having Kylie on here is not an exception. And the reason I know that is from all the concerts we went to, I've seen many, 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 many parents with their kids wearing makeup at times, wearing Kiss shirts. This is a generational band. And there's plenty of parents that raise their kids on this band. And we're two of them, but I'm sure Hooligans, put your memories, put your info in the comments. We'd love to hear it. You know, fill up the comments, make this be one of the biggest comments ones we have, because I guarantee you with the 400, we're closing in on 400 subscribers. I guarantee you there's a large percentage of the Hooligans that have indoctrinated their kids to like and Kiss.
This episode kind of proves the Kiss Army is as strong as it ever was. And it's not ending anytime soon. I mean, she's 26 years old. It's going to carry on.
Right. And I mean,
it's going to carry on into or through at least that generation. And if people in her generation parent well, it'll go to the next generation. Gene and Paul were correct. Kiss ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Whether it's avatars or what it is, I think it's going to stick around. And I only got one more thing, because this was truly the most shocking thing of this entire episode for me. Up until the point that we put her on, I was 100% sure that she was going to speak about viewing, seeing, experiencing. I was not expecting listening. I wasn't. I was expecting, hey, I saw Kiss Meets. That kid was forced to watch Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park almost as many times as she was forced to watch the Star Wars movies. And she didn't even bring it up. And that's the reason why I didn't bring it up, because she didn't even bring it up. It was not about the costumes. It was not about the fire breathing. It was not about smoking guitars. It wasn't even about the makeup.
Well,
it was about the music. And that is something I think all real Kiss fans have been trying to drive down people's throats forever. And it's funny that a 26-year-old, I guess she could be considered a millennial, a 26-year-old millennial understands that it's about the music. And time for my rant. And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame didn't, and never will. How is that even possible?
Well, and again, it's exposure, right? Because you exposed her to the music first, which kept her. You know what I mean? It shows that the music never gets the love, but it's always been there.
Yeah, but I exposed her to a lot of the visuals, but that doesn't seem to be the driving force. And I think that goes with what we have said pretty consistently from the beginning. The visuals get you to the dance. The music is going to keep you at the dance. And I think people that aren't Kiss fans never understood that. To this day, I think they still don't understand it. And that's where the Hall of Fame thing comes in, where the Hall of Fame didn't like them, didn't want them to go in. And that was because it was all shtick. It was all this. It was no. If you had all of the visuals and there was no music to back it up, KISS would have been out the door in 75 or 76. The fact that we're in 2025 and we're one of, I have no idea. I've literally lost count and stopped trying to count how many KISS podcasts are out there. Right? And we have, look, we're not patting ourselves on the back, but we have almost 400 subscribers in about 8 months, talking about a band that's been around for over 50 years and technically is retired as a touring band. If you're listening to us on any of the podcast platforms, please leave us a review. And if you just found us, check out our past episodes. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel and you like this episode, please consider hitting the like button, just like him, and leaving us a comment. Hit that subscribe button, just like him, so you don't miss any future episodes, and check out these episodes right here. As always, if you made it this far, thank you for supporting us, and don't forget, don't ever forget, if it's too loud, you're too old. Peace out, Hooligan Nation.